Hey guys, Nick here, and today we are going to be getting into part 21 of What If Madison's Family Joined Rick, where we will see Shane and Strand take up a very different turn. Well, not different in the sense that we've seen hints of so far, but different to the point of turning around the story. And what will be the end result of the Wolf arc going slowly but surely into the Saviors. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. Once Shane, among others, approaches the prison area where the wolf Owen is being held captive, Shane is not going to not back Strand up on the fact that Owen needs to go. And now they're both taking a stand towards Rick and Madison. Both of them, Strand first, about to have their own monologues directly at Rick and Madison. Strand going first, saying that all of this really is Madison's fault. And this is Strand talking to Madison. All of this really, including the wolf, is her fault. If it weren't for her and her family, he really just should never have saved them and put them on his boat. And saying Madison very sincerely, if he had just left well enough alone, let them burn in San Diego, he could have been on the boat ride to save Thomas and wouldn't be in the situation. Heck, even if he had brought them along and not let her take control, they would still have probably saved Thomas and wouldn't be in the situation. Travis and Ophelia might have still even been alive. Little do we know that that's false because they died sooner than later anyway. Anyway, Shane then goes on to call out Rick. And this would be a very heated and pretty cool moment to witness for both of them calling out the leaders of the group. Shane goes on to lecture Rick on the fact that they had everything made back when it was that little group that they had there in Atlanta. And that they had it all ready to go to Fort Benning after the whole CDC thing, and they still had plenty of people. And it's all because Rick saved Madison and took control and just ignored Shane and pretty much sidelined him, that everything that's happened. Calling Rick just a goody two-shoes and saying that bringing these people along has probably done more harm than good. And if they had just left them alone, honestly, whether they died or not, half of their people would still be alive, most likely. Their group would have been, albeit probably the same, if not huger. And it's at this point, Rick and Madison are starting to lose patience because they've just all gathered in this little prison area here, and it was just about Owen. But then Shane comes in with Strand, and it's like, that just turned a whole 180, and now they're both against Rick and Madison. And they're not going to say that they're right, but it's hard to side with them whenever they're saying all this stuff about them. After all the monologue's done, Shane turns to Strand, who nods in approval. And both of them agree and say simultaneously, which would be, albeit a lot cooler, that they're not going to do this no more. They have been around this group, they've dealt with so much up until now, and more or less had to be the two voices of reason besides Daniel being the nicer one, really just being the ones to lead the group this entire time and not being thanked enough for it. And they're going to take their own turn now, whether it's against the group or away from them. But before they can do anything, albeit leave the group, attack them, whatever, it really doesn't matter. Before Shane and Strand can do anything, Rick and Madison have just decided enough is enough. And both aim their guns and shoot both of them straight in the back. pushing him straight through the doorway because this would be a very off-guard moment, and it would shoot him straight in the back, push them straight out into the horde, and close up and just run back inside. And this seemingly kills them, although we do not see confirmation if this were an actual show representation. So don't get too worked up or excited yet. Meanwhile, Merle, Daniel, Alicia, Sasha, Abraham, Bob, and Daryl are all on their own little journey trying to lead the horde away from Alexandria. Because remember, I never got to that part yet. They're still doing that. And we obviously have a lot more people than just Daryl, Abraham, and Sasha. Now, with the whole Dwight thing, pretty self-explanatory. If Daryl had more than one person backing him up, Merle, Alicia, Beth, it really doesn't matter. But with Merle and Alicia here, they're all gonna die. There's no way. Alicia would be a little more friendly on the aspect, but with how we saw Alicia grow, do you really think that she would let them live after seeing that they threatened Daryl? I don't think so. Soon enough, little Timmy and his brigade show up and do their thing, but with Bob, Merle, and Alicia in tow, that proves 6 people for Daryl's team, and just a few extra of the Saviors. So whether a gun brawl would ensue, or the same thing would happen where Daryl would be pulled to the back and then RPG them, really doesn't matter. No one dies except little Timmy and his brigade. So nothing truly major to talk about there. But then we come back to Alexandria and the whole try to lead the horde away and dress up with the walker guts and everything like that. Except obviously with many more changes concerning characters, the extras of which being Mika, Carol, Lori, and Madison. But the build-up and everything, besides extra characters maybe not being there, characters of different development, it really just depends. But the overall build-up to it is not changed. But what is changed, like several other stories, is that Jesse and Sam are not going to die, because Sam's not going to be a little crybaby because of Carol's character development. But Ron's still going to act out, because it wasn't just Shane who threw Pete out and inevitably killed him. He is the main cause, but as far as Ron's concerned, he's taken care of. But as for everyone else, they assisted in pretty much dooming his father to death. So at this point, Rick, anyone, it really doesn't matter. Dies trying to take a shot at anybody, but the shot doesn't go for Carl's eye this time. It goes for Mika, straight into her neck. And unfortunately, if this weren't already obvious, she's dead. And obviously, this would upset Carol very much because her daughter just died not too long ago. And now Mika dying not too long after, because remember, I pretty much just killed her Sophia off like an episode or 2 ago. So imagine how Carol's character development is right now. This would break her very dramatically. But before she can react, or before anybody can run and do anything, a very surprise twist happens. Shane rises up, surprisingly out of nowhere, with nothing but the gunshot that was infected to him by Rick done to his back, and grabs Jesse. Strand, the same, grabbing Sam as hostages, because if they can't take the group or get away from the group, they're going to take Sam and Jesse to show their initiative. But that doesn't last too long, because they die pretty much immediately after, by Daryl and everybody else coming to Alexandria and saving the day. Well, saving the day from Shane and Strand. The horde is still there, but still safe nonetheless, aside from having to deal with the horde, but not too big a deal after they show up. Now, you guys are probably going to be all over the place with what just happened, but hold up. I'll explain, because you guys are probably thinking, Nick, why would you make Shane and Strand turn a 180, seemingly kill them, bring them back, and then kill them for good? Well, I'll explain. Because there's a lot to unpack here. Now, Shane, he died back in season 2, and although his character and everything else could have been extended, as I have in many of other stories, including my What If Rick Spared Shane remake, which already had a series originally, him dying any point past that and surviving, that would have been fine. It was just his death in season 2, it really just depended. Him being dead, that's one thing. But Nick, why did you kill Strand? He's still alive today in Fear the Walking Dead Season 8. Why kill him? It all has to do with Shane and Strand's team up. Throughout the entirety of this series, I've compared Shane to Strand inevitably. Because look at them. Look at their characters. Although Strand is much more organized, methodical than Shane was, rather than just being a crazed lunatic, he's still very much like Shane. And with this team up, it sprouted throughout the entirety of the series, to the point where whenever the wolves became a thing, it was inevitable that something would rise up to doom them both to death, even if it was for a character that is still alive. So inevitably, this had to happen. But anyways, the Horde afterwards is not too much to speak of, because after Daryl and them show up, it really was just a matter of time before the group got rid of the Horde. And Carl is not going to lose his eye here, and Sam and Jesse are still alive. A lot of changes have happened, and we've had quite a few casualties to end the Wolf arc. That of which being, in case you're not caught up, Sophia, Mika, T-Dog, Ophelia, Axel, Martinez, and Alan. All of the casualties to the Wolf arc. And one more thing, Glenn, who was killed by Nicholas in a fit of just pure panic and rage. Rest in peace, Glenn. His fake dumpster scene actually became reality. Now, speaking of Nicholas, that's where we're going to end off here, because Nicholas is still coming back to Alexandria. How will that turn up to the story? Because he's killed Glenn, and Enid's not coming back with him. He's coming alone. So what will Maggie think? What will others think when Nicholas comes back and Glenn doesn't? Or Enid doesn't? What will happen with the entirety of the rest of the series and going forward, especially from Maggie's perspective, when she realizes what has happened? And that's where we're going to be leaving things for the moment. Hope you guys like this episode and are enjoying the series so far. Definitely another little twist there, with Nicholas basically taking the role of Abraham and Daniel in the way of killing a member of the group and eventually having to fess up about it, because let's face it, that's going to happen. But with the whole Shane and Strand thing and just the episode in general, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next episode.